9 months pregnant, I sat at dinner when my mother-in-law smiled and asked, "Have you ordered the nursery letters yet?" Norman. I stared in shock. Norman? We're having a girl. Of course, dear, Suzanne said, reaching across the table to pat my hand. The Landry firstborns are always named after my father, Norman Landry. It's been our tradition for 4 generations. My husband squeezed my shoulder. Mom already ordered everything. The crib has Norman engraved on it. The baby kicked hard against my ribs like she was already protesting her fate. We'd been living in my husband's childhood home for 3 months while house hunting. Not once had anyone mentioned this tradition. We picked May, I said, my voice shaking. We've been calling her May for months. Suzanne waved her hand dismissively. Nicknames are fine in private, but legally, she'll be Norman. The words hung in the air. My husband followed me to our bedroom later that night. I was pulling up baby name websites when he closed my laptop. "You're overreacting," he said. "It's just a name." "It's not just a name. You're asking me to name our daughter Norman." His face hardened in a way I'd never seen before. "This is about respect. My grandfather built this family's wealth. Your grandfather has been dead for 30 years. He pulled out his phone and showed me a text from his uncle. "See this? Uncle Vincent controls Grandpa Norman's trust. $2 million goes to Norman's namesake on their 18th birthday, but only if they're legally named Norman." My legs went weak. I sank onto the bed. $2 million. My husband's business had been struggling. We had no savings after 3 rounds of IVF. The next weeks became a battle of wills. Suzanne started introducing me as Norman's mother at her church. She posted on Facebook about baby Norman arriving soon. My own mother called asking why I was naming my granddaughter after an old man. During a prenatal appointment, the nurse pulled me aside. "Just so you know, only biological parents can complete the birth certificate, not grandparents. We've had issues before." "What kind of issues?" She lowered her voice. "Overbearing in-laws trying to change names while mom's unconscious. We keep the forms locked now." That night, I told my husband what the nurse said. For the first time, I saw him think. "Maybe we could hyphenate," he suggested quietly. "May Norman?" Suzanne slammed her hand on the table. "Absolutely not. The trust specifically says Norman. First name. No modifications." But he pulled up the document on his phone. He read it 3 times. "Mom, it doesn't say that anywhere." Vincent told me, "It just says a descendant named in honor of Norman Landry. May could be honoring him." Suzanne's face went red. "Don't you dare disrespect your grandfather's memory." We prepared in secret. My husband filled out a practice birth certificate with May Suzanne Landry, throwing his mother a bone with a middle name. I kept copies in my hospital bag. We told the nurse our plan. I never made it to my due date. The placenta started detaching at 36 weeks. My husband drove while I bled through towels. Suzanne followed in her car, calling his phone over and over. "Don't answer," I gasped through contractions. The C-section happened fast. Too fast. They put me under general anesthesia when my blood pressure crashed. I woke up 6 hours later, groggy and disoriented. My husband sat beside me holding a clipboard. "The birth certificate," he said. "I haven't filled it out yet." Suzanne stood in the doorway. "I've been waiting to make sure you do the right thing." "Where is she?" I asked. "Where's the baby?" "NICU," he said. "She's okay." "But Mom," I called Vincent. Suzanne interrupted. "He's driving down with the trust paperwork. He needs to see the birth certificate matches." He looked between us, his mother, his wife, his pen hovering over the paper. "If you write May," Suzanne said slowly, "we're done. I'll never speak to either of you again. Vincent will cut you off. The whole family will." My heart rate monitor started beeping faster. My husband stood up. "You know what, Mom? Good." He wrote May in clear block letters. Suzanne lunged for the clipboard, but he held it over his head. Security had been watching through the door. They stepped in. "Ma'am, you need to leave," the guard said. "That's my grandchild. You're stealing her inheritance." Uncle Vincent arrived 3 hours later. He looked at the birth certificate, then at Suzanne, then burst out laughing. "Suzanne, you psycho. I don't care what the kid's name is." Suzanne went white. "But you said—" "I said I'd love to meet Norman's great-grandchild. Not that she had to be named Norman. Jesus Christ, who names a girl Norman?" He pulled out the trust documents, right there in black and white. "To any descendant of Norman Landry upon reaching majority." "You lied," my husband said to his mother. "You made this entire thing up." Suzanne's voice got caught in her throat. Vincent shook his head. "Just like when we were kids," he said. "You always had to control everything. Make everything about you. No wonder your husband left."